We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.
You are tuned in to your premier talk radio station, Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. This is where we get to take you through the stories that are topical, biggest stories of the week. And the guru will be more than generous enough to give you a perspective, historical perspective, as well as analytical to all of the stories and help us make sense of it all. So without further ado, let me bring to the microphone. But before I do that, just to remind you that you can join the conversation on WhatsApp. The WhatsApp line for the station, in the meantime, that is 0809-234-5913. That's 0809-234-5913. You can join the conversation there, and let's get talking. So without further ado, let me bring to the microphone the editor-at-large of the newsguru.com and also the national youth leader of our time. I'm talking about none other than the guru himself. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to you, Adu. How are you today?
Very fine, thank you.
Yes, I can sense that all over you. Your face is just radiating God's glory. And I thank God for your life. Please keep the job up because we are doing a fantastic job. Now, good morning, Lagos Talks 91.3 FM. Listeners there, I salute you. We have a favorable day, well loaded in all perspectives. I have a guest that will be calling in the next few minutes. Unfortunately, I thought he would be able to make it here. But I discovered later on that there was a dragging between myself, and Shannon Television. So, on the process, I lost him temporarily to Shannon Television because he had appeared on Shannon Television early this morning by 7:30 in Abuja, Shannon Television Abuja. And of course, so there was no way, our original plan that he would fly into Lagos yesterday and be my guest. Then this morning we would come to the studio together, could not hold. But all the same, he's back to his office and is waiting for our call, so we shall call him to discuss, because I did promise upper Monday that last Monday I will bring some seasoned retired police officers at top level, those who contributed immensely to the development of the Nigeria Police Force, because we were talking of Hush Puppy then and Abayare, the super cop, the most decorated Nigeria police officer. Am I right?
Yes, you are, absolutely.
Okay. Now, but last week, all those I spoke to, they could not come. So I have the privilege of honor of bringing one of them. And I've lined them up. The only one that I know it will be difficult for me to talk with is Fulani Kwajafa. Fulani Kwajafa, for information, was the man who started SARS. In 1984. Fulani Kwajafa was an officer. He joined the Nigeria Police Force without the ability to speak English. He would not hear one, he would not speak one. But by the time he became a sergeant, he had learned how to speak English and became very, very fluent and everything in it. Fulani Kwajafa joined the Nigeria Police Force in the year 1954. To tell you the person I'm discussing now. But he's only one man that I might not be too sure will be able to talk to me because of his health, because of his age, and many other things. But today, I'm bringing a retired Assistant Inspector General of Police. His name is Felix Ogbaudu. I will tell you his CV. But for the time being, let us do what we know how to do best. Historical perspective. There is the Yoruba man who recorded Fulani's game plan from the beginning. I called him the man who saw tomorrow. That does not mean that he has become a replacement to Michele Nostradamus. No. There is an event recorded in his favor. We need to know about it because we are just on the pattern of historical perspective. Provoked by the shabby treatment spewed on Chief Obafemi Awolowo by the Fulani-led federal government during the Independence Day celebration in 1960. Some event happened on that Independence Day of 1960, which portray Awolowo being shabbily treated by the government, led by the head of the government was Tafawa Balewa, Sir Tafawa Balewa. Of course, now of blessed memory. He went with the coup of 1966. It was then there was a ceremonial president, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. So on that day, Obafemi Awolowo was not given. Obafemi Awolowo was the leader of opposition. Obafemi Awolowo was leading the Western region government. Obafemi Awolowo had played a lot of profiles. But on that day, there was no recognition given to Obafemi Awolowo in protocols of others. So this trigger of agitation in the mind of a very young man by name, Mr. Modinyu Adeniyi Oshinowo, just a 25-year-old headmaster. That prompted him. He led a one-man campaign, and he said that the Yoruba should separate from Nigeria as Pakistan separated from India. His words, these are his words. Let's have our own Pakistan. If they could rubbish Awo like this, sooner or later, they will be defecating on our heads. Let's have our own sovereignty. Oshinowo, that is Mr. Mudiyu Adeni Oshinowo, said on that favorable day. Of course, he was calmed down, but the irony of the whole thing that exactly 5 years after he led that, I don't know how we call it, protest, he was assassinated. Who killed Mr. Mudiyu Adeni Oshinowo? Let historical or not historical, historians, am I right?
Peruse.
Historian dig into the facts, because he was 27 years when he led that in, and 5 years later he died, meaning at 32 he had been eliminated. He was assassinated. For what reason and who did it? That's historical perspective. Now, I've not even given you the number.
The magic number? No, you haven't.
Number to call. Oh.
The magic number has not been delivered to me.
Oh. What is happening to me?
No, not a problem, Guru. Once you have it for me, I will attempt to establish a connection.
Please call him for me. He's waiting for our call in his office in Abuja.
Okay.
Again, one of those things. Up to 1 a.m. this morning, I was still talking with him. And exactly 6:30 a.m., as I arrived at the studio of Channel Television in Abuja, I was talking with him. Then about 30 minutes ago, I was talking with him. So,
okay, I think we have him on the line.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Oh, nice. That is my brother's voice. Am I speaking with Felix Ogbaudu, retired Assistant Inspector General Police?
Yes, speaking.
Oh, thank you very, very much.
It's my pleasure.
My brother, thank you very, very much. You know, I will never take you for granted.
Thank you so much.
I was just telling listeners that you were being dragged between two personalities. The Guru is dragging you to come to Lagos to join him in the studio. Channel Television dragging you all about security matters. That this morning.
Yes, I just left Channel TV.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Then I said, okay, it's nice. It's better to hear your voice. So, but just give me a second now, please. Just give me a second. I'll fall back to you. Listeners,
okay, no problem.
The man we are hearing his voice, his name is Barrister Felix Ogbaudu. He's a retired Assistant Inspector General of Police. And not tired at all. Not tired at all. He has MON, MNI, an anomalous of Abu, that is Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, UNILAG, the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, LIPS, in Kuru, Jos. Attended so many training programs, conferences, seminars, both at home and abroad. Investigated some high-profile cases within and outside the country. Served as Commissioner of Police in Gombe, Oyo, Anambra, and Rivers State. Was AIG in Zone 6, Calabar, and 7 in Abuja. He retired when he attained the age of 35 years in service. And if you look at him now, sometimes he has the feature of a 45-year-old young man. And very, very brilliant, always working assiduously. I wouldn't know who sleeps more between myself and himself. If I can sleep maximum of 3 hours in 24 hours, I believe he is sleeping about 2 hours in every 24 hours. Why some of the cases he investigated while he was Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, the popular Okija Shrine, where Chris Uba took Chris Ngege for a swearing-in ceremony before he was officially sworn in as governor of Anambra State, he, Felix Ogbaudu, as a Commissioner of Police in Anambra State, busted that Okija Shrine. There are many, many other cases, but that stands aloof of all the things. That is the man that we shall be discussing, the police reformation, the police operation, and maybe a word about Abayari, the most celebrated, decorated course, the one that is named Super Cup. And probably, if I will tap into his brain, he should be able to tell us at what time the language Super Cup erupted in the police force. And is there any consequences, either positive or negative, that word Super Cup brought along? All this we shall be discussing with him. Once again, Felix Ogbaudu, I'm most grateful that you've taken the opportunity to speak with us. Thank you very much, sir.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, done. Now, let's take it like this. About October 2020, there was a police reform bill that became law where the president signed it. And that became a replacement for a police act that had legal 90 what? Before that one replaced the one that came into effect in 18 something. I cannot go on. And I called you immediately. I told you that, please, Felix, help look at the police act now as the president has signed it. And let us see if what the bill that left the National Assembly to the presidency and the president has settled to it, if it is the totality of what we need really to have a reformed police force that will be the people's police force. I discussed this with you. Maybe we should start from there. Sir, what is your view on the newly signed or the new law, Police Act 2020? What are your views, sir?
Well, thank you so much. I think the issue was that the first police act we had, which we've been operating with, probably had some provisions that were adjudged outdated, too old. So some of them were deleted, and new things were brought in. In fact, a lot of sections were deleted, so. But the truth of the matter is that it has not made any different positive impacts on the performance of the police force. That's the way the police act is right now. Right now, So it's but just to move ahead. We're using it. They're using it in service. So it's that's it.
Okay.
Like one of the issues that came up in, I think it was either Ondo State or Ekiti State, where a policewoman who got pregnant was dismissed.
Yes, Ekiti.
You remember that case?
Ekiti State.
So, but those are not major issues anyway to contend with.
Yes. Okay. Now,
the major concern is Section 4 of the Act, actually, which talks about the duties of the Nigeria Police Force, prevention and detection of crime and all of that, cooperating with the military when certain events erupt that require they have to operate together.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, you operated the police at all levels. That's my conclusion, knowing you where you operate. The question I want to ask, what would you expect a law or an act of the police that return the police to the Nigeria people favor police, a police for the people? What would you be expecting such act to come out with?
Well, such an act, you see, there is this saying, people they say the police is your friend. So how true is that statement? A lot of people have said no, but the way policemen relate with them, the public, the way they are treated, does not confirm that statement.
Okay.
So, you know, seriously, in all honesty, the police needs to be repositioned, reorientated towards achieving that objective of the police being your friend. And that's the essence of the police was actually. The police not established to intimidate members of the public. The police is established to protect the citizens, fight crimes and criminality, prevent them, and when they cannot be prevented, tackle them.
Okay.
And if suspects are arrested, they should face the wrath of the law, and they should be punished, sentenced adequately in provision with the laws that are the extant laws. So in all fairness, the police needs to be friendly to members of the public. It's only then they can build trust and confidence. In the past, we've had people complain about going to give information to the police. At the end of the day, the identity of the informants, the identities were disclosed to the suspects. And that put a lot of informants' lives and property to a lot of the dangers and challenges. So to realize that one eroded the confidence the public has in the police. So we need to work on that. Because like we've always said, security is everybody's responsibility. And like NT used to say, is if you see something, say something. And I've also added that advert. Not just when you see something, when you also hear something, say something. Yes.
Thank you very, very much. Now,
let
us still move the question forward a little. SARS came into being by when Timiang was invited by the head of state then, Major General Muhammadu Buhari in 1984, and told Timiang that something needs to be done to tackle hard crimes. Timiang returned back and picked one of his seasoned officers, Fulani Kwajafa. And this is Fulani Kwajafa, and they picked 12 or 11 SPOs, Superior Police Officers, and men, and establish the SARS in Adeniji Adili. Now, you worked very, very closely with Fulani Kwajafa, in spite of the fact that he joined the police force in 1954.
When I was 2 years old.
When you were 2 years. When you were 2 years. Oh, that's a record time. By the way, how's Fulani Kwajafa now?
Well, he's quite old now. There was a time he wasn't feeling too well, but I think he's a lot better now.
Okay. Please, anytime you see him very soon, give him my regards.
I will.
Thank you very much. Then let's go back along the narration. The SARS that Fulani Kwajafa created then was not the same SARS that came to be in 2020, when on 8 October 2020, SARS must end. Protests erupted from Nigeria youths. Now, in between the line, what would you say happened that disconnected from Fulani time, but connected back to the formation of the Nigeria Police Force in 1861?
You see, SAS means Special Anti-Robbery Squad.
Yes.
And they were established to battle violent crimes,
Okay.
specifically robberies.
Yes.
Until we had the Civil War, we didn't have crimes perpetrated with firearms.
Yes.
But after the Civil War, we had a lot of firearms, wrong guns, and all of that. And that was genesis of armed robberies and all of that.
Okay.
You know? So, SARS, as at then, some years back, the exclusive responsibility was to tackle armed robbery or any other violent crimes perpetrated with firearms. Regrettably, they digressed. We now had issues of SARS operatives handling cases of fraud, bounce checks, even dabbling into civil matters. Agreement signed, somebody is breaching on the terms of an agreement, police get involved over civil matters, matters that don't concern the police at all. And so the SARS was so gravely abused. Some innocent persons were killed, that was the allegation. A lot of people were extorted. A lot of people were brutalized, you know. And that people were detained for long periods of time for no offense, you know. So the abuse was so much, and that was what led to the Stop SARS demonstration that took place.
Yes.
That eventually led to his being disbanded. You know.
Okay.
So it was disbanded,
Yes.
and I think that was the very right decision, because some of us who had served in the force for 35 years so we retired, and in retirement now, we're not too pleased with the activities of the so-called Special Anti-Robbery Squad. Because you can't see any sense. There's no reason why a SARS operative should be involved in fraud cases. Go arrest someone because he issued a bounce check. How is that related to armed robbery? You know, so that was it. They abused their roles, and that demonstration, the protest, the hue and cry for his scrapping was very timely and justified too, although it was hijacked.
Yes, by hoodlums.
It was hijacked, and a lot of things, a lot of government properties were destroyed. You know, of course, that is the way Nigeria is. You have a good purpose, best of intentions. Some criminals come and hijack it and go something else. You know, do something else.
Okay.
You know?
Thank you.
But everything said and done, SARS is being repositioned right now with the new establishment, new name they've been given now.
Okay. Thank you very much for this narration.
Yes.
Then the question is this. Is there any way you could reconnect the time when this word supercause came into being within the operation of the Nigeria Police Force, and when the word supercause, because another retired Assistant Inspector General of Police has said that most of the abnormal works that SARS dealt to started happening when some superior officer was, this is a super call, given the number of people he killed, not because of the number of investigations. Would you be able to reconnect when this word super call came in? I'm going somewhere. Would you, sir?
I can't say precisely when that expression came into being. But you relate it to someone like Abba Kyari.
Okay.
When he was in Lagos, there's no doubt about the fact that he performed exceptionally well in Lagos.
Okay.
There were a number of key cases he tackled and were highly successful, you know. And even in those days, we call it the days of Anini in those states, you know. Those that nabbed all of that were also congratulated and referred to as super call. Super call actually just means that doing a job that is extraordinary, that a lot of others have tried to do with no success. But there's somebody just goes in there, leads some police officers, and they achieves results, and is given the accolades. That's when it's classified as a super call. A super call means doing something exceptional, you know.
All right.
Not just ordinary, yes.
Thank you very much. You've made the point now. You even took me to the point I'm going faster. And I'm grateful for that. Now the question is this. Abba Kyari, many years ago, he was in Lagos as head of SARS.
Yes.
His replacement now, Disu, also was head of SARS in Lagos at the time.
Okay.
Is there any interpretation you want to give to these two?
No. You see, the important thing is achieving results. And probably bringing in somebody that has some experience along that line. And that's why, as long as they have any tainted records, no bad names, no bad records, and all of that, there's really nothing wrong with that appointment.
Okay.
The important thing is that he should be focused, do the needful in compliance with provisions of the law. Not torturing innocent Nigerians, extorting them, and killing, wasting innocent lives and all of that.
Okay.
Fabricating lies and stories on people so that you can get them detained and all of that. The route extorting money, all that is not. It's not right. It's not right.
Okay. Thank you.
But as of today,
yes, please.
Nigeria as a nation is facing a lot of criminal challenges. And we need officers that are dedicated, honest, have a fear of God, and focused and determined to serve the people, the interest of the people, not to sadden them.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Now, you spoke well by saying that Abba Kyari, when he was in Lagos at the time, he performed creditably.
Yes.
At what point would you say he missed it, given the revelations that came now, given his relationship with some, maybe one notorious, because Hush Puppy documents on the cybercrime matters had been properly documented by FBI. And his appearance, I'm talking of Abba Kyari now, about 2 months ago when Obi Kubana was to bury the mother in Oba.
Alhambra.
Yes, in Oba, in Anambra State, a place you know very well. Suddenly, Abba Kyari appeared with him. And the story we are hearing now, at what point would you say Abba Kyari got it wrong? And what are those major factors that he did not take care of that brought him to where he is today?
Well, as a lawyer, even though he's not been charged to court yet, the matter is still being investigated.
Yes.
And when, for instance, if matters are in court, we say they are sub judice.
Yes.
So we are not, we cannot comment on anything that is under investigation or under trial.
Yes, thank God this matter is not yet in court.
Yes, that is the case with Abba Kyari right now. Allegations as grave as they are made against him.
Yes.
And as we are talking, the allegations are being investigated by the DIG in charge of Force Head.
Yes, but not court.
No, he's not been charged to court yet.
Yes, that's good.
It is when the investigation is concluded and all the allegations leveled against him are confirmed and found to be incontrovertible evidence that cannot be changed, that are real. It's only then that can be taken to court.
Yes.
So for now, let us allow the investigation to go on without making comments that will to a large extent affect the outcome of the investigation.
Okay.
Let us be patient and wait what comes out of the investigation.
Okay.
But I'm very, very certain that the truth will be told. If he actually aired anywhere, so be it. Let Nigerians know. If there are false allegations against him, so be it. Let Nigerians be told. If there's any evidence against him, like I said, that's incontrovertible, you cannot change, it's there.
Yes.
Make it available to Nigerians so they can believe your findings.
Okay, thank you very much.
And thereafter, let the law take its course.
That's good.
But for now, there are all allegations which are being investigated.
Okay. Now,
yes.
Please, Mr. Ogbaudu, I will not let you go easily. This one question that remains, let me probe a little more. I want your knowledge, not as a lawyer on this question, but as a police officer, a seasoned police officer that worked,
as a retired police officer
that worked diligently until it attained the age of retirement. What in your own assessment, operationally, I want you to please, I know you are a lawyer, but let us put it, and thank God the matter is not yet in court. And if it is FBI court, jurisdiction does not affect Nigeria. What would you say loudly that it might be for this reason and this reason that he got himself into this quagmire, what would you say, professionally as a police officer?
Well, I wouldn't know. You see, in the course of performing police duties, you interact with a lot of people, the good and the bad, criminals and law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
And you are bound to also face temptations too. And what makes the difference for you to resist those temptations? Being compromised and all of that. Being offered bribes. Being offered exotic cars, trips overseas, foreign exchange, naira and all of that. So that's it. It's like I told you, let the investigation be concluded. Let us be patient. Let us see what you did wrong and let there be evidence to substantiate that. If he's guilty, so be it. Let the law take its course. He should be charged to court.
Okay.
But for now, like I said, the allegations, like in any other matter. Don't forget, in the political climate in Nigeria, we have a lot of people in the Senate, in the House of Reps, all over the state level too. Ex-governors resting in Kuje prison and all of that.
Yes.
Those ones that were convicted and all of that. So let us wait patiently for the investigation to be concluded. If there's any evidence, then be prosecuted.
Okay. Mr. Ogbaudu, I knew when I back on this the question that you are the most difficult person to get the type of answer I'm expecting from. So, and you succeeded in dodging it. But please, hold on just for 1 second.
Tell me. What answer was you expecting from me? Let me hear it so I can comment on it.
Sir, before
now,
you...
Please, I want you to have one question from my colleague here, Adu. Please, let him fire his question.
Before you leave us to do other things today, I just wanted to confirm, because going by your track record and your career whilst you were with the police, I could ascertain that being a lawyer by training and being in the police force made you have a double-edged sword approach to things. Would you say that it will improve the efficiency of police officers if there were mandatory law courses or law training given to them before they become officers of the law?
Oh, sure. Actually, right now, don't forget the Police Academy in Woodville is a degree awarding institution, just like NG and Kaduna for the military. You get trained as a police officer in police college, police academy in Woodville, as a police officer, and you also undergo your undergraduate education and all that, and graduate with a degree. It is the point you've just made is very, very crucial. Highly relevant. You cannot be a law enforcement officer without having an in-depth knowledge of the law. That's why we always insisted that starting from police training schools, that's the lowest police training institution we have in Nigeria, where constables are trained. You must include law in the training curriculum. It might not necessarily be up to the level of undergraduates and all of that, but the basic things they need to do, their do's and their don'ts. Their do's, they're how to do them too, without encroaching on the fundamental human rights of Nigerians. So this is a kind of legal background we need to impute into police officers from the lowest rank up to the top. Those police, those that go to police staff colleges, the senior officers who go there for their training, also build in some form of legal studies into their training.
Okay.
Because the problem I have is that the truth is that a good number of police officers do not have a good understanding of our laws, the laws they operate, the laws they enforce. And like we say it in law, you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot give what you don't have. And to a very large extent, too, that has affected their performance.
Okay.
It has also affected some of their integrity, among some of them, their integrity, sincerity of purpose, you know, because compliance with the law is prime, it's foremost. It's foremost.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir.
very, very much. As I let you go, would you want to say a word? When the Timiang was Inspector General of Police, Okoni Timiang of blessed memory, he lowered... Yes, Etim Okoni Yang. He lowered the prestige of joining the police force at the lower cadre to his school sat. When he left, I remember Mohammadi Gambo took over.
No, he didn't lower it. Let me interrupt you. He didn't lower it. Many years back, it was primary 6 or standard 6.
No. What I'm saying is this: that a team Inyang. Sorry, did I say lower? No, he upped it.
Yes, you said lower.
No, not lower. He upped it.
He stepped it up.
Yes, to Kusat. But when Muhammad Gabo came in, it was lower back. Would you want to comment in that for a second?
No.
Okay.
All of that was politically motivated.
Okay.
And what must have advised that kind of decision is that, from certain parts of the country, how many people do you have that have school sat? But most of them have school primary 6. So bring them in. And they probably saw it as trying to edge out some people who didn't have school sat. So that's why I brought it down.
Okay.
But the level we are reached now, they had the level of education of coming, the better. No such sentiment of where you come from and all of that. Those are some of the considerations, the sentiments we play with, toy with in this country that has left us where we are today.
Okay.
Like I said on one of my NTA programs, I said, look, we have a power challenge in this country. The NEPA, or former NEPA, light. If all of those that can guarantee this light, the power, 24/7, are all from Zamfara State, so be it. I don't bloody care where they come from. My concern is that let the light be there 24/7.
That's good.
But moments I say, no, they cannot. You bring this one, bring that. Like you want to do a relay race. You have somebody else who is deformed, physically challenged. Say no, this market. Say no, that's our representative. You must be there. You can't win.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You cannot win.
Thank
you.
So
we must always emphasize competence.
Thank you very, very much.
Competence.
Thank you. Mr. Felix Ogbaudu, I'm most grateful that you took time out to talk with us. And
Thank
please,
you so much.
I would always come back to you because your knowledge
problem.
is needed.
I'm always ready for you guys.
Oh, God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Your wish is always my command.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Enjoy your day.
Nice speaking with you.
Right. Bye.
That was Felix Ogbaudu, retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, who operated many areas in the police force before he retired after 35 years services. And we have to move forward because time is really consumed now. But
do you want to go to the menu?
The menu, but not without measuring that Saturday, which was August 14, was the birthday of Mr. Olajide Oduyoyi. Mr. Olajide Oduyoyi is the General Manager, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority.
He's been our guest a couple of times.
Yeah, and he has been my guest a couple of times. Thank you very much for even reminding me. Oduyoyi, I don't know if you are able to tune in to hear what we are saying here now because I know you are not around this place now. Probably it's travel to my village. So happy birthday. I will celebrate you. And let me quickly add, on Saturday, he clocked the age of 60. Right, Adu?
Okay, so the menu today, quite extensive. I'm not sure we might be able to finish it because of time, but let's go through. Menu number 1, Hush Puppy. 31 Northern lawyers volunteer to defend Kyari against FBI. From the pages of The Punch. Menu number 2, Mohammed Ghani Farman's son is dead. Premium Times. Menu number 3, IBB misunderstood not to blame over Delegiwa Vasta on June 12. That's Abdusalami Abubakar, Mark Akilu, Iwunyawu and others speaking. Iwunyawu and others speaking from the Vanguard. Oh, thank you very much. From the Vanguard. Number 4, Buhari meets Tinubu in London. The Nation, bicycles, tricycles, motorcycles exempt from new tolling policy. That's from Punch newspaper. FG adopts Jordan as Christian pilgrimage destination. From the Vanguard. And APC, menu 7, APC senators write off Buhari's 774,000 public works jobs. Yes. From the Nation. And last but not least, troops push to reclaim forests from bandits. The Nation as well.
What can we do under this tight circumstance?
Well, we might have to lump some together and postpone others.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. Hush puppy, 31 other lawyers volunteer to defend Yari against FBI. There's no question about where your defender in law comes from. It's never to be questioned, legally or otherwise. If Abakari is privileged enough that he has 1,151 lawyers from his village to defend him in court of law, there is nothing wrong with it. The law is at peace with it. Let me clear this one. Before somebody will challenge, what is wrong there? But the question here is this. Hush puppy, 31 northern lawyers volunteer to defend Yari against FBI. I only hope, and I sincerely hope, the matter is not being ethnicized. That's my concern there. Otherwise,
well, of course, the coalition of northern groups,
the northern youth group,
they already started. They already started.
Said that no, that the FBI are teaming up with Osadana to bring their own down.
So they started it. And
Mayeti Allah had given terrible warning that Abayari is a rising star who will soon become Inspector General of Police. That Southerners they have come into
conspiracy.
To conspiracy. It is on the face of this defense, which does not hold any sensibility at all, the two defenders, that people are now wondering, okay, could it be that either the youth coalition or Miyetti Allah that organized to make sure that only northern Nigeria lawyers could, among them are senior advocate of Nigeria. And let me put it on record here. I am not too sure. I've gone through the list of the names of the lawyers. I am not too sure. I might be wrong, but I am not too sure I'm wrong again. I am not too sure any of those 31 lawyers have the license to practice law in the United States of America. So the accumulation, the organization is therefore to the limit of defending him
on Nigerian soil.
And I am not too sure, except when it comes to matter of extradition, that the court will be involved. Otherwise, for now, it is the DIG that is looking at the probe. It could be that the 31 lawyers might be there. But let me conclude as I draw curtain on this. There is nothing illegal for your village man, for your junior brother or junior sister, to defend you.
As long as it's qualified.
As long as it's qualified, there is nothing. But given what the youth, the northern
I think that's what made it to be.
Given what Miyetti Allah
had said.
Because I wouldn't know the difference between Abakari and the cow that Miyetti Allah are really, for them to come and make that provocative statement.
Because ideally, sir, you're correct, because the association is Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria.
Of Nigeria. So they suddenly, they now saw Abakari, they've even appointed him as are they saying his qualification was because he's in northern Nigeria, he's from Kaluri?
Or perhaps he has cattle that we're not aware of.
Or maybe he has cattle. So let us debunk that. Just Mohammed, Ganifa Emi's son is there. It's just purely for notification. And it reminds one of the late Ganifa Emi. Mohammed is the first son who unfortunately was involved in accident that narrowed the chances in life to wheelchair. And for that reason, the father saw that, okay, he would not be able to cope with the rigors of law. It's for that reason that in his will, he went down his chamber that after gradually, but 2 years after his demise, the chamber should be closed. It was for that reason that the chamber was closed. And of course, he died at the age of 52 or something. But then, we remember his father because he tried to follow the father's footsteps. One will remember him vividly, 2nd of January 2012, where he joined the so-called human rights defenders. Human rights defenders, he quote, those ones that Kasho, Fashola, Buhari, and all of them that were gathering themselves at Ojota at Faremi Freedom Square. So it's just for notification. IBB misunderstood, not to blame over Dele Giwa, Vasta, June 12. Abdusalami made this statement. Abdusalam Abubakar is one of those who made the statement. There are many. Colonel David Mack, or was he a Brigadier General David Mack? I'm not too sure. Colonel David Mack is another one. Brigadier General Akilu, we should know. He was the strike point man of IBB security. He was in charge of, what do you call it? The military thing. Of
police?
Of the army.
Military police?
Not military police, the intelligence unit of the army. Akilu. I had an encounter with Akilu many years ago. That's not what we're... Then, Iwanyahu made statement. Then others. There are many. Professor Sam Oyunwari was one of them. Too many of them. The chairman of the occasion was Raymond Dokwesi. I will not be able to decode the totality of this. That IBB, it all started from the kite that IBB flew. When, is it Ngozi? Is it the Arise television?
The lady from Arise TV?
That got him cornered in an interview. Among many things the man said was that he was looking for a Nigerian politician that Nigeria should play up as president. And he has identified many of them. They should not be more than 60. They should be person that has knowledge of all corners of Nigeria. And should be person that any local government, he must have a friend. That all this knowledge. Of course, nobody can fault that. Listening to the interview, you will now really know that, this man is far ahead of time. He did well. But either, even Oyinlola was one of those who spoke in this. But either he was to be blamed for Dele Giwa death, Mama Vasa coup matter, June 12th. I think it goes beyond the purview of most of those that comment. I cannot see how Iwanyahu would understand the intricacies that led to Dele Giwa being bombed out of life. Or what intelligence report is at his disposal. He spoke because Babangida was his very, very good friend. When he was to bury his father, Babangida spent a whole day of 24 hours with him in his village, which is good. There is no doubt about it that Babangida can be a reliable friend. And Babangida will not jettison his friend. I mentioned something here a few days ago that Babangida had one attribute. The only army officer in the history of the Nigerian army that had it was Joshua Dogoyaro, the man who led the operation to Liberia before the whole thing, before he was called back with Kole Foteta, the one they refer to as Officer Hurricane. Now, Babangida knew his troops by their first name. Babangida as an officer will occasionally branch off, go to the troops' mess, soldiers' mess. These are not officers. He will go and wine and dine with them, and he will call them. Imagine a situation that a major, a colonel, a brigadier general will be calling a sergeant by his first name. That is the type of person Babangida is. A very, very good human being. In fact, all of them that aggregated themselves together in Abuja for this colloquium, I wouldn't know why Olufalaye, Jeremiah Olufalaye, was not invited. I had said it here about 2 years ago. The trick with which Babangida brought Olufalaye to his cabinet was beyond ordinary imagination. He must be a genius to have done that. He set up Professor Abayomi, who was Olufalaye lecturer at Ibadan, to tackle Olufalaye down, that Olufalaye must come to be his secretary. He knew he would not be able to do it because Olufalaye, don't forget, as a permanent secretary, he was the youngest of his time. It is Party Tommy that became another younger, where Sheikh Shagari appointed him. But Olufalaye was such a brilliant. He was in establishment, he was doing well, and he left. He came to become the managing director of NANS, or what they call that bank of those days, Legacy Bank. Now, Professor Abayomi, Olufalaye was his student. Then Olufalaye joined him in the civil service. Then that one was a permanent secretary. His student, Olufalaye, became a permanent secretary. On this day, Olufalaye was the managing director of the bank. He was going on his holiday with the wife. As he entered into the plane, then suddenly, as the plane took off, then behold, Abayomi, Professor Abayomi was there. Olu, he called him by his first. Olu, where are you going? He says, I'm going on holiday. You are going on holiday. Where are you going? He says, travel. So, okay, enjoy yourself. He called the wife, my daughter, because he called him my daughter. My daughter, Olufalaye told us the story. We were two. Senator Dayo Adeyeye and myself. He told us the story. Then after a while, after about 20 minutes, after gaining the after about 20 or 30 minutes, the man walks in and told Olufalaye, my daughter, please go there and sit with your sister, because he was with the wife. He said, I have something to discuss with my junior brother. And he did not come straight. He put the table, why do you do this? Don't do this. At the time, he said that, by the way, it is like Babangida want to see you. Then he said, but you know, sir, that is, I have no interest in politics. So I will not. I said, no. How can they say something and I will not mention it to you if I'm my junior brother? It means that any day I hear bad thing concerning you, I will not tell you. I just say, let me. And the matter, until they got to Heathrow, when they landed, the matter was revolving around, what's your interest? But you had this idea at the time. If you put it into practical, they departed. It was, Olufalaye told us that he thought it was just coincidental. On return back, one of them was flying from America. Then one connected the same plane from London. And they came. Sir, is it today? My brother, is it? Hey, my daughter, how are you? Blah, blah. Then he told the yeah, go and sit. You know, for a long time, I have not really met with my brother. And by the time they landed at Ikeja here, he has succeeded in convincing Olufalaye, if I were you, I would not take that job. This is how he narrated it to Olufalaye. He said, if I were you, I will not take that job. But if I were you equally, I will not snub the president of Nigeria. I will go in to go and see him and thank him for offering this and tell him that my conscience and everything, my professionalism that I've chosen, I cannot come to government. And that Babangida is such a very wise person. He will excuse you. He will appreciate it that you respected him. He called you now. But if you snub him, it's like you snubbing me if I call you. Would you like that? By the time they landed at Ikeja, he had convinced Olufalaye that just go there. Why not? Even go there tomorrow. Go there tomorrow. Then Olufalaye now, he came. He said, no, don't worry. I will tell them that you are coming. And he met President President Babangida at Marina. The governor, which used to be federal government, that's where the prime minister was in those days. And as the car that brought Olufalaye came to the lobby, President Muhammadu Buhari,
Babangida,
President IBB, stepped out down the step, almost opening the car door for Olufalaye to come down. So as Olufalaye just stepped out of the car, he shook his hand warmly, because that is that character of what do you call it? The character that attracts people or not is always there in IBB. And shook his hand, and he said. Then the next thing he said, I held the hand as they were walking in. He said, "You are welcome, my secretary." He said, "I just invited you. Whatever you say, we are to eat." So it's for dinner. So, but there is a document for you to sign as my secretary before we go to the dining table. And by the time you follow the papers were prepared, and the name had been put secretary to the government of the federal. This is it. So, Babangida get all this. And you cannot stop it. I knew about 2 officers that later became lieutenant general or major general. But while they were captain or lower, Babangida called them by their name. Babangida was a major. And say, and third one, you have a mother. Your mother suffer all this thing for you to do this. And your mother is living in a mud house. Babangida had investigated and everything. And Babangida helped him to build a bungalow for the mother. So that is Babangida for you. But does that put people like Iwanyanwu and co in the terrain of those who know the role he played in his military function in Vasa? Was Vasa not somebody to him during his wedding? Or the one of Delegiwa?
Oh, well, there was even another revelation today by Otedola, who was speaking ahead of his 80th birthday.
Yes.
Who said that he mentioned...
Otedola?
Yes, Femi Otedola.
80th birthday?
No, Babangida's 80th birthday.
Okay.
So he said that when President Yar'Adua was ill before his passing, and there was a lot of stasis in the government at the time, that Otedola said Babangida told him that he should tell then Vice President to go and sit on the president's chair during the FCC meeting. And he was just talking about his decisiveness in...
you cannot take any of these good things from him.
And I asked my listeners at the time a question, and, could it be that many of the things we see today are still strings being pulled by people from the past?
Who brought Obasanjo to government direct from prison? If IBB did not work it out, could it have been possible? And IBB can lower himself to any level. There is hardly a village in Nigeria that IBB will not have a friend, either male or female. And these are friends that... But the question is this. Does this expose most of them? If Akilu talk about the death of Delegiwa, I would respect Akilu. But that is not to say that I will respect everything that Akilu, because I knew few things about that one. I told you I wrote a setter spread for this day, November 20. Is it 2019? Yes, 20. No, not 2019. 2015. That was 29 years of Delegiwa death, and I told myself I think the time is now ripe to discuss those who killed Delegiwa. But that is not to say that I'm telling you now that I know those who killed him. So please, anybody should not run away with that impression. Or does that give them authority to talk of the 12 billion, the wide wind? After all, the investigation was carried out by that seasoned economist, later Shigbo or what, the economist. He carried out that investigation. But who wrote the white paper? The white paper was written under the chairmanship of Lieutenant General Muhammadu Balarabe Haladu. And when Obasanjo said that anyone who can bring the report to it, that he indicted Babangida in that matter, he would charge them to court. When Punch laid the hand on the copy, was it accepted? When that day that Babangida left the villa, relocating back to, after handing over to Shodeko, number 6 car, after Babangida, because it was a cover of about 12 or 26 cars, you will respect, you will honor him. Number 6 car had the context of that investigation. Number 6 car, let me repeat, car number 6, that after Babangida, carried all those documents. And the former governor of CBN then, Abdul Karim, somebody, was also in the entourage following. And when they got to me after 2 hours, when the former governor met him and said, "Sir, this file you know you've not signed it. Then Babangida played a very laugh-led joke. He said, Your Excellency, you can advise me. If now I have left government, if I should sign it here now, will that not amount to fraud? So, I think, oh my God, I'm sorry. We tackle 1, 2, 3. Buhari beat Tinubu in London just for notification and probably to establish one fact that this Association of Nigerian Leaders meeting in London or medical, if Nigerian medical institutions are properly put, they be paying all this homage? It was denominated that crack joke with Adam Moshe-Omole. The day Adam Moshe-Omole went to the Senate, he said, my senior brother, Adam Moshe-Omole, you are one of those filtering away the scarce foreign exchange of this country. Otherwise, the money with which you went to pay your wife bride price in Cape, you could have saved it. All this money they carry away. Why must they? I'm not saying every person can be sick. I have been sick at few occasions. There are children of 20, 50, 60 that are sick every night, not to talk of those of us who are old people. Sorry, I'm not an old man. Youth leader. So nobody is complaining about that. But the Association of Nigerian Leaders meeting of hospital beds in London, is it a good news? What happened to them? At a time that the medical doctors, call them resident or not, they are striking.
NMA has also threatened to join the strike.
Of course.
Johisu is alarming that it also will join the strike. So invariably,
Dr. Chris Ngige will swallow those his words. I will never like say he will swallow his words.
It means a tsunami is brewing in the next coming days.
Tsunami is here already. The time that invaded Indonesia the other time. I do. Okay, we discussed that. Let us leave bicycle. Federal government adopt Jordan. That one. I don't know the response. What is Nigeria? Is it a secular state or? Sorry, what's the meaning of if a country is regarded as a secular state? What's the meaning?
It means that law precedes the rulings, not religious beliefs or sentiments.
So it's not a religion governed seat? No. Okay. It is now federal government that has chosen Jordan to become the fourth pilgrimages for Christians. Don't forget, Israel is there. Israel is there. Rome is there. Greece is there. Now the federal government has chosen Jordan. What is the business of the federal government? Is this not why federal government makes budget for payment of pilgrimages either to Israel, Greece, Jerusalem, which I counted three just now, Professor.
Jordan, Greece, Rome, and Israel.
That's good. And paying people going to Mecca, is that supposed to be the duty of the federal government? And sometimes they will make the foreign exchange, it will be differential treatment for religion. Why will government not be involved in religious matter? If they are, I think I tackle all this. Enough is enough. Please.
Okay, let's listen to our friends at the pen.
But my apology, listeners. You know, I'm not the one you subsidize like this, but the exigency of the movement paraded this.
Meanwhile, one of our listeners says, Adu, please kindly ask the guru when he will be bringing the EFCC chairman as promised. This is from Sami Dakwo.
Okay, I can promise you. Either the FCC chairman or somebody big in FCC within the next 3 weeks, I'll bring.
Okay, Chike from Makote says, good morning, Guru and Adu. The question is, will the industrial court pay the doctors their dues? Government is seriously confused, because if not, it would have addressed this issue long ago. Mr. President, beg your pardon, welcome back. Now, the U.S. occupation of Afghanistan has ended, and it was expected. Majority of Afghanistan forces were never in support of their government. How can an army of 300,000 armed men with Humvees and air power lose to one with just over 75,000 soldiers with less firepower? U.S. has created a big problem. Okay, thank you, Chike. This is coming in from... It says, good morning, Adu and Guru. It's unfortunate about Adeniyi Osinowo But the painful reality is that many like him have been wasted by this soulless country called Nigeria. Saroriwa warned that only the messenger could be silenced, not the message. This is from Baba Alex Adeshina. Onome says, good morning, Adu and Guru. Good job you're doing, but please, we are confused. Each time you say Abba Yari, it should be Abba Kiari, because Yari is the former governor of Zamfara State. Kiari is the so-called Super Cup. Someone else asked the same question, but you still say Yari, so please kindly help correct this.
But the thing is Abba, father, in Hausa language. Yari is Kanuri. Even the NNPC group managing director now, what are his full names? The former secretary to the government of the federation, not the chief of staff, Abi, to Mr. President, my brother who died of COVID-19. What are his names? Is it not the same? So when we say Abakari, it all depends how you pronounce it, and it all depends the true nation you are taking it from. Please move ahead.
One more from WhatsApp. Raphael from Agri Kinigoju says the president of our country went on medical tourism to UK when some sections of medical community went on strike due to government's indifference to the fulfillment of the MOU signed by the government and NARD without transmitting power to his vice president in accordance to the constitution of the country. Our health facilities are left in shambles. Has the president not committed impeachable offense coupled with the insecurity and other vices that have engulfed our country? Questions, Ralph. Thank you very much. We've got another minute or so for callers. Hello.
Please, a minute, please.
Hello. Yeah, good morning, Mr. Adu.
Oh, good morning, Peter.
Yeah, Mr. Guru, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Please, you have less than a minute
Thank you very much for that retired police officer you brought up.
Thank you.
Maybe another day will come so that I will ask some questions because there was no time to ask him questions. And thank you also for that revelation of Oshinowo, even many years ago. Now, that tells me that right from the onset, this country didn't like the truth and somebody that speaks the truth. Unfortunately, that trend is still continuing till today. Let me quickly say this. On Mr. President and Tinubu meeting in London because of medical grounds, and today they are back. The president is back in the country, and Tinubu is left there. I want to beg the Nigeria Medical Association, in fact, all health workers, that they should now prepare and tell the government that any other time Mr. President leave this country for medical tourism, they will ground the health sector. This should stop, please. We don't have that money to pay for parking.
I don't think the Nigeria Medical Association has the authority to do that. But thank you for your advice.
Hello.
Ogbaudu, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Tunde.
Thank you, Guru, our international youth leader.
Thank you. God bless you.
God will restore your strength, sir.
Because of time.
And keep you alive for us.
Amen.
I just want to ask a question. When I heard that our guest, that police is supposed to be our friend, but what we are having today is other way around. I was driving this weekend inside Bariga Market, and I saw Nigeria police around that 7-8. They were stopping bike, keke, collecting money from them. They were able to causing traffic. So when I got there and I asked those keke, they said it was police. That's what they normally do. Who is in charge? Who is to be blamed? Is it the DPO or the commissioner of police in Lagos State? They are not aware of this. They said every day, and they come out at any time. What is wrong?
Okay.
That is my question.
Your name is Tunde or what?
Yes.
Okay, Tunde, you will be hearing me now. I will speak Yoruba to you. I do will interpret it because I don't understand Yoruba language, so I will be able to interpret it. I do will interpret it. Wọ́n ní amúkó ẹrù ẹwọ́, ó ní àìlójú tó dára ló ń da ẹ̀ láàmú. Tó bá jẹ́ pé orí náà dáadáa, ẹrù tó ní ó wọ̀ yìí òkè kọ́ ló ti wọ́, ìsàlẹ̀ ẹrù náà ti wọ́. Go ahead.
So the foundation is a problem, not the building. That's the summary. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. Hello, good morning.
Very good morning to you, Mr. Adu.
Good morning, Prince Wise. Go ahead.
Is Mr. Guru in the studio or outside the studio?
He's live with me in
Live.
the studio.
Mr. Guru, how are you?
I'm great to the glory of God, please. Go ahead.
Ask Madam Matthew.
We thank God for everything.
You talk much about Babangida today. Why?
Is that the question?
I'm asking you.
Okay. I will give you narration so you can drop. You hear the narration later.
Okay, let's go to our friends with the pen because we're trying to catch up. Kunle from Ajah says, "Good morning, Adu." And the Guru said, "You said Fulani Kwajafa, joined police in 1954.
Yes.
Nigeria had not come into being then. What was the name of the Nigeria police at that time?"
Nigeria Police Force.
So the name was in existence, but the independence running of the country came in 1960. Am I correct?
Please, Adu, get this right. It is not Nigerian Police Force. It is Nigeria Police Force. In the Army, you have Nigerian Army. In the Navy, you have the Nigerian Navy. In the Air Force, you have the Nigerian Air Force. Can't you see the difference? One belongs to the people. One belongs to the country. Go ahead.
Akim from Lagos says, "Good morning, Adrian Guru. Thank you for bringing the retired AIG, putting him on the hot seat. I have listened to him before on your program and I respect his perspective. The work of the police in any society is straightforward, one that one can easily tell a sane or messed up society with the conduct of its police. A police force must be institutionalized for its optimal functions. I'm interested in knowing what authority empowers the force to operate in such clandestine way as against what the police force should be known with. What outright punitive measures are there to deter men from the police force from indulging in unwholesome acts like illegal checkpoints, etc., etc.?"
Of course, all those nomenclatures, they are difficult to define and redefine, because the truth of the matter is that the people deserve the type of police it has. Then, apart from that, even if you go through the Police Act, you will know every other thing. Please let every Nigerian get the Police Act 2020 as amended, which is now law. Read it. It is good for you to know. For example, the police holds you for indecent dressing and want to charge you to... No law in Nigeria, not even the constitution, that talk about indecent dressing. When some people use from part of Nigeria use the penal code or use some environmental rules and regulations, that has not subjected the constitution to those wishes. So you need to know what to... For example, the police is empowered to use arms and ammunition. Okay, the Nigerian police force is trained to shoot to maim, while the army is trained to shoot to kill. In America, it's a different thing entirely. But then, even the Police Act stipulated, you don't pull your gun unless you use it. If you pull your gun and you are not using it, you've infringed the law.
But so, they carry guns everywhere they go.
Yes. Come, there are some countries of the world that you need batting to go and arrest a criminal in somewhere. You will be safe, the criminal will be safe until you come to the station. But there are some countries in the world, which unfortunately I found Nigeria becoming now, that you need machine gun to even control traffic.
I didn't see that coming. Okay. Chief Udo says, "Good morning, Adrian Guru. Where are the northern lawyers and coalition of northern groups whilst all the killings are going on? Many youths in the north are in prison awaiting trials due to the fact that they cannot pay lawyers, and many people who have been illegally treated by Hispa police. Their activities are dividing Nigeria into two, more than Sunday Igboho or Nnamdi Kanu."
Nigeria is just nothing but an extension of the animal farms. Some animals must. That is why Abakari became more grown than others. So no problem about that.
Williams has this to say. He says, it's quite sad that at times we fail to realize the politics that has been played all over the world. Saying this in response to the case of Abba Kyari, the same FBI that are coming after him, why did they look away when it comes to the issue of Joe Biden and his son Hunter in the Russia company called Burisma's case? Why did they not investigate?
It's tautology, it's repetitious. Go ahead with that.
Okay, let's go to our callers then. You're on the air. Go on this morning. What's your name, please?
Yeah, good morning, sir. I've been following the program. My name is Yusuf.
Yes, sir.
I'm calling from Isale Beikoto.
Issue.
Yeah.
Did you say
Just want
issue?
to share a little light. Can you hear me?
No, did you say
What's
issue?
your name?
My name is Yusuf.
Yusuf.
Apologies.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Regarding the police, I just want to share my own experience with the police.
Please let it be half a minute. Let it be half a minute.
Yeah,
please.
okay. Okay, let's just round it up. Regarding the bribing and not bribing stuff, I had an issue like 2 months ago. I was in a party. I was there when the head of finance, I don't know if it's the head, but he just came on and said, we need money today now. You guys should go and look for money. And they all went out. Only God knows how they will get money, but they went out to get money. Because I just want to say, because you said it's from the grassroots, but at least those are at the top. I think we need to, it's not just the grassroots, it's also from the top.
Okay.
Thank you,
But
Yusuf.
you cannot have evidence of that.
It would have been nice if you had maybe
If
a
you
recording
had
or
a
something.
video recording of it, which would have been better. And you even went there for an issue. Maybe when you say we need money, you became scared that hope the money I will offer will be enough. I'm just cracking you, please.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yes. Good morning.
Hello?
Hello. Can you turn off your radio, please, and call us back? It's given feedback. Daniel from Festac says, is it right or legal for the Nigeria police to be on the road, stopping all vehicles causing traffic by asking for papers? Okay. Those meeting in UK medical beds are those who will change Nigeria. Ha, 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 ha. He laughs.
Okay, he laughs, as I was laughing here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ado.
Yes, good morning. What's your name, please?
No, sir, Felix from Itire.
Philip from Itire.
Yeah, yes.
Please, Philip, go on.
I want to say this morning that most of the Northerner youth or follower, they are not even happy the matter of their leadership, because it seems to be that they are the one that is even encourage their leader to do all sorts of things. In this South, we see that the youth will have rise up against some of the anomalies of the leaders, but the youth seem to be carried away. The youth of the North, they seem to be carried away with the activities of their leaders. They have led them to some certain level that they don't even know they are right any longer. So the leaders are still oppressing and they are following them. And how can we be liberated from this kind of thing? Something that happened in America, you are gathering yourself here to say you want to go. Let them go and fight with America.
Thank you for your thoughts, sir. Hello, good morning.
Hello, sir.
Yes, hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. Go on.
Yeah, good morning, sir. My name is Yusuf. I'm calling from a first-time caller, sir.
Okay, another Yusuf
first time,
joining us.
My bed. Somebody tap out with my bed. So let me clap for you first time.
Yes, Yusuf, go on. Yusuf, go on.
Go on.
Sir Guru, I'm very happy to always hear from you, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud of you, sir. And I'm really learning a lot from you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Actually, what I wanted to ask you, how come Arabic is written on Naira notes?
Okay, I'm not an economist. Maybe you better ask the CBN governor. I'm not an economist.
You have asked a hard question.
Okay, sorry.
You have asked
a very, very hard question. 2, I'm not an economist. 3, why don't you ask the CBN governor? Then 4, which is last? I don't know how to write nor read the Arabic language, so I wouldn't know what is written there. But I do before you move ahead. Somebody has just sent in a text message.
Okay.
He's accusing you.
What are you accusing me of doing?
He said, why is Adu ignoring my messages since last week? I am banned from sending messages on this radio station. Adegboyega Adedeji. And then he added, Abi, they don't ban me on this radio station. Adu has continually refused to read my WhatsApp messages. Oh yeah, made your character.
Wait, let me look for his message. Particularly, I'll look for it. Where is it? Okay, I found it. Okay. I found it. Adegboyega Adedeji, right?
Yes.
But I read your messages incredibly. I'm not banning you anyway. It says, I'm not disappointed to hear the views of your guest or his colleague on his colleague's case. Abba Kyari says intentionally doesn't want to involve himself in the matter. He knows the consequences and is aware of the recording of this program. But having said that, there's enough info on Abba Kyari on the social media that are real, authentic. Whatever the Nigeria Police Department are doing on this matter, they are only buying time and negotiating a soft landing position for Abba Kyari and others that are involved, he says.
Okay, my guest spoke as a lawyer. My guest spoke as a police officer. And everything is said is sourced by law. So let's give him that he has the right to do that. I even said it that this naughty question, I know I will not be able to get answer from him. So go ahead.
I think we can we take one more? We're
Okay,
running out of
just take
time.
one more.
Okay, let it be a call then. Last call for today. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Remy. Yeah, what are you doing?
All right, thank you, Remy.
I think this health crisis with doctors, why don't you let's tackle it once and for all? As a nation, our bigness and diversity should be a source of prosperity. But unfortunately, the people that run our country do not understand this. If we have to invest in our health sector, don't you think if Nigerians get good value for money, the people are ready to pay? They are ready to pay. Even Nigeria can become the point of health tourism for other people around the world. So what are we selling? Don't you know when you take our money out all the time, and Naira is getting weaker and weaker? I believe the people in government should know this, and their followers should please understand. Don't follow politicians blindly. Anybody that does not deliver on their promises, punish them when it comes to the next election. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you.
Remy, by the way...
I've even overshot my runway.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Remy, by the way, stays outside the country, hence his line of thought.
India developed his medical. That even America has a working facility with India.
When we have a society that is stricken with stomach infrastructure and sycophancy.
Stomach infrastructure.
It becomes...
On this note of introducing stomach infrastructure, a commodity imported from Ekiti State,
which is my dialect, by the way.
Oh, Okwanwi. Then we've come to the end of, because this is 1 minute after 11. I'm supposed to vacate. This is 2 minutes to 11, so as to prepare the ground for Ifi. Ifu Naya has just come in now, but thank God it's not driving me away, and I will not take more than 1 second now. Last week, I gave apology because I never knew that my website, www.godwintheguru.com, was down, was under management. Because we were supposed to expose 8-page document that spoke about 38 days of horror, 50 policemen dead, kidnappers demand 1 billion for 321 victims, 211 others killed. Why Nigerians can't stop payment of... The example of this, a commissioner was kidnapped in Niger State. The commissioner was asked to bring $1.2 million, or equivalent of, they demanded for 500 million. But I was told, the commissioner had been released. And that his release, the governor was involved. Because the abductors were hired, according to the commissioner, from Zamfara State. And they came to pick him here. And they told him that the governor always releases 200 million naira to him every month for whatever they are doing, I don't know. And that if he failed to put the 200 million naira minimum down, they should kill him. He said he has forgiven them. But the question, did he just walk out freely? Could that still not be the same state that the governor, the day they kidnapped school children, was dancing before he traveled overseas and say, we don't pay, we don't negotiate? Did his commissioner come back like that only 5 days? Those are questions. So the totality of this 38 days of horror, 50 policemen dead, blah, 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 and state by state, hour by hour of kidnap and negotiation amount is now ready. I was trying to upload it when a call came in this morning from my guest from Abuja, and we talked. So As I step out of the studio, just give me only 30 minutes. I will upload it into the website. So have your counter there and read it. But I must warn you, be ready to read because it is 8-page document. But you will be so enriched. You will be so enriched if you're able to read it. While reading it, like the website, share it. What other thing is it? Subscribe. So that is what that. I will give it at. This is looking at me now. 20 minutes after going off air now. Then, of course, meet me on Facebook, Godwin Etakibuebu. Then what other thing again? I think this is enough. Adu, I must always appreciate you. You are a embodiment of blessings to my life. God knew what he will use me to do. He looked around. It's like God meeting Adam and say, maybe Adam sat without any thought of tomorrow because the only companion he had then were animals. God said, let me create a woman for this one, otherwise make him not go commit what is bad. So God created you to help me out.
To compliment the
I'm
work.
very, very grateful.
Thank you, Guru.
I'm not taking you for granted, Adu. And God will sustain you. Young man, Umuna, is that the name? Obina. Okay. Thank you very much. I think you are doing a very good job with the camera. But next time when you take people picture, remember to send them immediately. Because you are doing a very good job. If Unaya, you are welcome back again. Until Monday next week where we shall be meeting, please keep yourself out of trouble.
We are Lagos Talks 91.3.
Let's talk.